Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 24 and we're back in our first class debut again today for the third episode in a row. You can see for some reason today the ground's pretty full, something that hasn't been the case in the first day and a half, but of course we're back now towards the end of day 2 as we look to continue the first innings of the match. But to give those who need a chance to click back, a massive thank you to everyone that continues to support the series, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough we did beforehand. I really can't thank you enough for giving it a try, and I really am enjoying making the content at the moment. So I hope you're enjoying watching it too, as we come back today again in our first class debut. So if you haven't clicked back yet, you are about to get a spoiler, as we go back to the scorecard in this rain affected match. We're just coming up to tea in day 2 of this first game of the season, and we're on 122 not out after a fabulous innings and partnership with Jonny Bairstow. He's on 51, having reached his half century, and remarkably we had to end the last episode because we'd stayed in for too long. Our strike rate's increased and we've now faced 125 deliveries, and the amount of singles we've scored and the way we've rotated the strike has really shown what a good player we can be when we don't lose our concentration too often. We've still had one or two little scares, mainly from Chris Jordan and Jofra Archer, and we have had our difficulties with a spinner too, but generally we've looked pretty comfortable. So today I have no real idea how long the episode will be, as of course we could get out at the very next ball, but we're coming up towards the tea break now, and the plan is we can bat through the rest of the day. In terms of the match as it stands, we aren't quite as far in as we'd hoped, as we've lost some play due to rain, but 283 Sussex posted, and it looked very good for them early on. If we go to our first innings, we were 119 for 4, but our partnership stands at 120 with Jonny Bairstow, and we've added well over half of those runs. So we now trail by just 44, and we're looking to get parity and build a first innings lead. We didn't do quite so well with the ball, but we're not going to worry about that. We're here as an opening batsman, trying to emulate Alistair Cook. So let's get back in and face the first delivery, and fingers crossed we'll survive until tea, and then we'll be able to build a big lead towards the end of the second day here. We're back for our first ball of the episode then. I've no idea why the crowd's suddenly so full now. On the back foot with the defensive to start, as we face in a new bowler, a part-timer's Van Zyl. He's come into the attack, the medium pacer, and we've just got to make sure we don't lose our wicket. We can't be far from that tea break, and there's a space on the leg side if we want a single. This one's at the stump, so it's the perfect opportunity. We get Bairstow back on strike. He's got a chance to be aggressive. The spinner's in then, it's Will Beer again, just the one wicket so far, but of course he's caused a bit of danger in this match as we just flick him away for a single. The most important thing to us when we're facing the spinner is to get off strike as quickly as possible, or defend if we're not completely sure. Jonny Bairstow I'm sure will be more aggressive, he's far more confident against the spinners. I say that, but he hasn't yet scored a run since we've been back. Van Zyl's back in again, having only conceded one in the last one, and unfortunately that one's brilliantly fielded, so it's a dot ball to start his second over. Second ball then, and we'll be hoping to get off strike again. I don't want to face too many before the break, but we duck out the way of the short ball there, and we'll comfortably do that all day. I'm presuming we won't get 2 bouncers in a row, so I think we can premeditate slightly, but it just misses the outside edge as we time it poorly. We're going through the shot too early, forgetting the lack of pace that Van Zyl possesses. Halfway through the over and he's causing us trouble, and that's probably what they brought him on for, to try and get a cheap wicket. This time we do get a single away, and Bairstow's back on strike for the last couple. Veer the spinners in and they're spaced down the ground again, but equally we can play to the leg side. I got caught in two minds there, so in the end it's a late decision to defend. Unfortunately we missed an opportunity, but at least we kept our wicket. So many times we've got out to that sort of ball, so it is important that we show some discipline. If he bowls it again though, we should be ready. This one's on leg stump though, and there's no man at fine leg, so we just tickle it away. The tiniest outside edge on the bat as we flick it for 4 to the the leg side boundary. Brilliant shot, and we continue to progress, now on 129. Just 6 runs away from our best ever score, and this could be a very special moment. What an occasion to do it would be, as we get another single to square. We move to 130, just 5 away now. Yorkshire just trailing by 27 now, although we have lost Johnny Bairstow at the other end, but we stay on strike to Van Zyl after tea, as we're back from the break and we're still placing the part-timer. Just flick one to the leg side there. Don't know how it beat the fielder, but former England opener Adam Lights at the other end, and he's got one off his first 4 balls to put us back on strike for the last one. This one's a full delivery and we get it away to keep the strike and protect the new batsman for the start of the next over. Hopefully it'll be a change to seam, as we don't really want to keep facing the spinner. Our wagon wheel's looking a little more expansive now, a few shots to the offside, but it's still very leg side heavy. Wilbeer switched to over the wicket. He did get the wicket of Bairstow as well. I'm not sure if that's what it led to. Why we played at that miles outside leg I don't know. A wide's been called by the umpire. Wilbeer will bowl that one again. Maybe this trick worked against Bairstow, but I'm not sure if we're going to fall foul of it. As we pick out a gap in the field, it just beats the man on the boundary to 4. He probably should have cut it off, but we now move on to 136, our best ever score at first class level. The best score of our entire career in fact, even though it's our first game at this level. That's just going to be 1 as we rotate the strike. Adam Life back on strike to add to his 1. Van Zyl continues then, just conceded 9 off 3 the part-timer, a full delivery which we get away, but again just 1 to the leg side. We rotate the strike and I can see Adam Life's got out. We're starting to lose partners here, and if Philans go I think we might need to be a bit more defensive and hold the strike ourselves, as we've not got many wickets remaining. The deficit's now just 17, but unfortunately we're 6 wickets down, and only the bowling unit to come after, as we get another 4 off the spinner. A fantastic shot to the leg side, and even though there's not massive gaps now, we really are starting to pick them out and look like a fantastic pro. We're not far off 150 now, which could be a massive moment for us. For the first time in our innings, the strike rate's gone past 100, 142 off 141. What a moment that is too, as yet again we get another single. Yorkshire move on to 271, and we've almost caught that Sussex score. Our partner at the other end doing the right thing, just defending. He's now 1 off 8. We want to make sure we do as well. Rotate the strike with him. If he defends a few, that's fine. Even if we go at 1 and over now, as long as we don't lose a wicket, that's fine. Sussex turn back to seam bowlers, and it's Chris Jordan into the attack. A short one that goes wildly over our head. Hopefully the umpire will pay attention to that. He's called it 1 for the over, so no more short balls to be faced. Philans is still at the other end on 1, and as long as he continues to stay in, I don't care how many runs he scores. We get 1 to the leg side. I think it's just going to be 1 again. It's been cut off by that square fielder, but we're now just 9 off the Sussex total. Beer continues over the wicket, as our partner saw off another 4 dot balls. This one's on leg stump and there's no fielder out there. They took him away and we smash it for 4. What a fantastic shot that is. Yorkshire now only trail by 5 after our splendid first innings performance. We're only 1 away from our 152, and I think we're going to get it there. Straight to the fielder at deep mid-wicket, but we reach 150. We rotate the strike fantastically again, and we have led Yorkshire back to parity. 150 of the 270 odd runs have been scored off our bat, and our first inning performance has been a memorable one. Our first ever first-class innings, don't forget, and we have certainly made our mark on this side. 150 off 147, and now let's continue to prove our worth. Chris Jordan's in at the other end. Let's see if we can get him away. Again, it's just going to be 1, as the deficit is now just 3. Jofra Archer's back in, and he's been our biggest threat so far. We've struggled against him a couple of times, although again we're fairly sensible with that one. Just a simple one, as Pillans defends at the other end. He's now on 1 off 22 deliveries, and he's doing his job perfectly. Just stay in and defend every shot, and we can't fault you at all. George Garton's back into the attack, the left armour, as we face some more quick bowling. Pillans moves on to 5 at the other end. He obviously found a boundary from somewhere. So let's see where we can go from Garton. The offside's pretty well packed, so we're just going to leave it through to the keeper. Just because we're on 152, there's no need for us to lose discipline. What we didn't notice as we faced another dot ball is Pillans 4 did take us into the lead. Yorkshire ahead by 2 with 4 wickets remaining as we pull at the short ball, and even that goes right. It's going to trickle to the boundary too. 4 more runs on to 156, and we can build this lead for Yorkshire now as the close of play's not far away. We're past 5 o'clock on day 2, and at county level we continue to impress. Let's see what we can do with Garton here. Hasn't changed his field after that shot, and he's bowled it on the stumps for the second time in a row, though our timing's a little bit off, so it is just going to be 1. The last 2 balls of the over will be faced by Pillans, and then we'll be back on strike for the 61st. 2 more dots for our partner, and finally the gap's been plugged on the leg side. Jofra's making it hard to score, but again we beat the man at mid-on, and he has to chase it down to mid-wicket areas, and it means we get another single. Okay, we're still rotating the strike, but we're certainly trusting our partner to defend. Pillans adds 1 more as well as defending a couple, so we've now got Jofra Archer again, off the pads to the leg side. It's only going to be 1 again, but with 1 ball left in the over, we'll be back on strike for the next one. And that next over's against Garton. He continues over the wicket, the left armour. This one drifts onto the pads though, to our favourite area on the leg side. 4 more, and will this innings ever end? I'm starting to feel a bit invincible. The lead for Yorkshire's now 14, and we're 1 boundary away from 300. Who would have thought that at 119 for 4? Certainly not me. I didn't think we'd still be here. Garton, the fast bowler, drifts onto the pads again, and this one might not reach the boundary, but it's at least going to be 3, and it does trickle all the way. We move past 300 for our side, and on to 167 personally. By far the best innings we could have dreamt of in our career, and what a time to do it on our first class debut. This one we flick off the pads for a single, and he's going to have to rush through Pillans, as it wasn't the best advised run. Pillans gets a quick single, and we're back on strike for the last ball of the over. Garton onto the pads, and again we just go for the single. We want to retain the strike for the start of the next over. Our partner's doing a brilliant job defending, and we want to take control of the situation and be the responsible leader for our team. Jofra Archer continues over the wicket, still those 2 awkward fielders on the leg side, but again we go for the vacant mid-wicket region, and although that fielder's got there pretty quickly, so we do have to cancel the second run, it's still another single and it builds our lead. Now Yorkshire on to 305. The spinner's back in as I very cautiously start to think about a double century. It's clouding over here though, so it's going to be very difficult as the rain may be coming soon and make a premature end to day 2. Garton continues over the wicket. It's very dark now here at Headingley. Maybe even bad light will stop play as 1 drifts onto our pads there. We're not even taking the risk of running. It's getting very hard to see the bowler here. Now we can understand why batsmen want to come off all the time. Even on a television screen this is dark and the sun's slightly creeping behind the clouds. So maybe we will just get away with it. Outside off stump we try to play at 1 again. Vision's very poor and so is our shot selection. I think we've just got to go a bit more defensive. Halfway through the over and we've switched to survival mode. Can we defend these ones just outside off? Really tough deliveries to face in this light, and we've managed to survive that one too. Final ball of the over from Garton. We've gone into survival mode. There's plenty of dots about now. Final ball's outside leg stump, so we get a single to finish. We've got to protect our partner too, as we retain the strike for the next over. Surely not much play left now. Fingers crossed we can cling on. Will Beers back the danger man with 3 wickets, just outside off with that one, but we do manage to force it to the leg side. We pull it away for a single. Last ball of the over for Beer, as Pillans has added a few at the other end. This one's on the stumps and we've edged it, but it just goes wide of the man at mid-on, and it allows us to rush through a single and retain the strike for the next over. Garton charging in, the mix of fast and spin. Can we get him off to the offside? It's a full length delivery, so we just leave it. That yellow length's really difficult to face. Just between full and good length is something we don't want to try at the moment. In short form cricket that may well be the slot, but here it's definitely the danger zone. So let's have a look. It's a short ball there, so we just duck out the way and keep it safe. After ducking away from a short ball, they've left space on the leg side for us. It's another one though, so we're out the way. This one goes over the wicket keeper's head though, and we've been gifted 4 byes just like that. Garton in again, and hopefully he'll be put off the short ball now. If he drifts onto the stumps, we can go leg side. We've done that and crushed it away for a boundary. The sun's popping out again and lightening things up, and as are our shots at the moment. Just 22 away from a double century. Surely we can't throw it away from here. Pillans is doing well at the other end. We keep getting balls on the stumps, and again this one's gone to our favoured leg side, although the fielder's managed to cut it off. Just going to be 2 and a tight squeeze at that, but we managed to get back on strike. We're back for the final ball of that Wilbeer over. Look what's happened at the other end though. Pillan's got out for 16. Wilbeer's now 4 for 100, and it may well be expensive, but it could be a 5-wicket haul. Of the last ball of the over, we just crush a single, down to the leg side, our favourite region, and we retain a strike with a lead of 47. Hopefully we can continue to build that. Past 5:30 now, and I wonder how much longer we're going to go on. The rain delays on day 1 have certainly made this one longer. Just a single off the first ball of the over, and the new batsman's back on strike. Our partner survives 2 off the 5 balls in that over. Wilbeer back on to face us. Another single to the leg side. We continue to rotate and trust our partner, but if we get down to the 2 tail enders, we'll certainly hog the strike. Beer in again, back around the wicket, space on the leg side, but he's got to give us the right ball. He does, and we do that fine flick away on the leg side, and it's going to be at least 3. We've not hit it hard enough, and he's not going to make it to the boundary, but we tire out another fielder. Garton the fast bowler it is, and we get 3 runs to move on to 339 and take Yorkshire's lead to 56. Jofra Archer's back into the attack. We're on 186 ourselves. It's a full ball outside off stump, and we picked out the fielder on the offside. We're looking for that gap in the covers ideally, or the one down to square leg. It's a short ball, we've hooked at it and we're out. What a silly way to get out. A loss of discipline at the end of day 2. We were just a matter of 2 or 3 overs away, and a silly way to lose it. It's the same loss of discipline, but I guess we can be forgiven. We got 186 off 181, 24 boundaries, and what a fantastic innings to put our Yorkshire side in the lead. Adil Rashid comes out to bat, and fingers crossed he'll build the lead further. We're back then as Yorkshire made it to 368. Let's go and look at the scorecard. Coad finished on 15, he was bowled by Archer, and Rashid LB by Archer as well, but he added another 15. Carver, the number 11, was 1 not out, so Yorkshire build a pretty big lead, nearly 100 from the first innings. Sussex are now on 46 without loss though, so certainly making things difficult for us. We've just been brought in to bowl by our skipper, so we'll go and do that off camera, and if we have a tense finish we'll of course show it, but if not we'll be back in a few games time and we'll play the rest of this one off camera. But a really special innings for our first one at county level, or at first class level I should say, and a partnership with Johnny Bairstow, hopefully a future England teammate, the highlight of our innings in that one. But if you did enjoy this innings and that fantastic knock with the bat, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what your best score is. Can you beat that 186? And what about for your first class debut? That's got to be one of the highest ones. A fantastic knock despite our inconsistency before, and now we've just got to replicate that form and keep consistent throughout the season. Of course knocks like that won't come along too often, but if we can nudge a few 50s in the odd century and stay consistent in this form and the One Day Cup, I'll be a very happy man. Subscribe to the channel for 3 episodes a week from this series, every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that continues to watch and who followed the Ashes Test playthrough beforehand. There's also daily FM19 content from my long-term One Club story. That's with Torquay United, and you'll have episodes of that every Sunday to Thursday at the usual time of 4:30. We'll also have news over the next few weeks regarding the FM20 announcements and our planned series and stories for the game. There's also weekly Snooker 19 career mode content, and that's every Friday at 4:30. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another big episode as we try to continue our brilliant county stuff.